Sweet. All right, so we talked this past week about branding yourself, right? Being the brand, and creating answering those 5 questions to, come up with your brand. And then you find out, okay, this is what I want my brand to be. And then you figure out, okay, what is my niche and what is a target market that I'm trying to come after, right? So you learned that last week. Now it's time to put that into practice on Facebook. Okay, so when it comes to posting and content and value, it is the absolute same principle we use for Instagram. You want to make sure that your graphics that you post are, HD graphics. I don't want anything that is fuzzy or hard to tell on Facebook. So the principle stays the same. You want to make sure that, everything that you learn from branding is going to go into your Instagram and is also going to go into Facebook, okay? So the first thing we're going to start out with is your description on Facebook. So if you go on my profile, left-hand side, you're going to see a description. What I want you to do with those descriptions is I want you to add keywords that describe you. So when you go to my profile, you're going to see keywords that describe who I am in the form of hashtags, right? So you can use hashtags, not use hashtags, but I do want you to use keywords that describe you in that description. I want you to also add emojis, and then we're going to go into that in a little bit, why that is important. So we're going to talk about that, okay? And I want to start off with something that I want you to think about through the training. In order to be relevant in this profession, you need to speak the language we speak today. If you're still speaking the language we spoke 20 years ago in network marketing, you are missing the boat. It is time to adapt and overcome. Now, what Coach Fryer have shared with you, and he will be sharing again, he's going to be teaching on attraction marketing this week. I want you guys to really get that because that's how your business is going to explode. When you get all these tips and tools together and you apply attraction marketing to it, I mean, it's incredible. That's what I've been able to do. So I want you to learn that so you can maximize your time online. But I want you to understand something. What we have been teaching you is a little bit out of the norm. And a lot of people would look at the training and be like, oh, that's not how we did it 10 years ago or whatever. We're not 10 years ago. We're here today, and we need to adapt to how we do things today. In this generation, if you're going to reach people through social media, you need to speak the language that people speak. And if you don't have an open mind and you're not willing to learn this new language that people speak, then you're going to be stuck back there and you're not going to be able to succeed. Because in order to really genuinely connect with people, you have to speak their language. So that is where GIFs, emojis, stickers, and amazing graphics come into play. Some of you may say, why do I need emojis? Why do I need stickers? Why do I need GIFs? Why do I need graphics? Can't I just tell people? No, you can't. Maybe back in the day, that's the way you did it, but that is no longer the way we do things. Why? Because people are being sold 24 hours a day. They hop on TV, they're being sold. They hop on Facebook, they're being sold. They hop on Instagram, they're being sold. Everywhere they turn, someone is marketing something to them. So if you don't learn how to market yourself in a brilliant way to connect with your people, then you're not going to connect with them. So whether you like GIFs, emojis, stickers, or graphics or not is absolutely irrelevant. Those are things that you need to learn in order to take your business to the next level. So I often joke that I build an empire on GIFs, emojis, and stickers because my people know that that's my main method of communication. I'm going to send you a GIF, emoji, sticker, like I chat with them, but that's just the way we communicate. So be committed to learn this generation's language, okay? So let's talk about what to post on Facebook. So we talked about last week how to create your brand, and then as a consequence of knowing what your brand is, how to find your niche, and then you're going to post accordingly, right? What is your brand? What is your niche? What is it that you're trying to convey on Facebook, okay? I want you to understand something. I don't ever want you to come to my wall and think that you need to do what I do in order to be successful, because that is not the case. You have specific followers to you. I have specific followers to me. My followers know my brand. My brand tends to be a bit controversial because that's just who I am, right? So what I want you to understand is that your followers know your brand. So if you take content from someone else that really isn't you, maybe it's the first time you posted, you may get backlash from it. You may get people that are going to unfollow you because your following is not used to what you're posting, the kind of content you're posting. That's why it's so important to make sure that you define what your brand is so you can go after your niche, and then your followers will be, will be according to what you're used to posting, if that makes sense. If you post outside of your following, people will unfollow you. Okay, so just be aware of that. If you grab something from someone else's wall, like say you come to my wall and you see a video that has 500,000 views and you post it on your wall, that video did amazing for me, but that doesn't mean that it's going to do the same thing for you, because my followers know who I am and that's why they follow me. So I want you to be aware of that, because what works for someone else may not necessarily work for you, content-wise. I want you to be genuine and I want you to be authentic. People want to follow people they connect with, okay? When you see someone on Facebook that has a huge following, they are adding value to other people one way or another. In their niche, right? They're adding value to people. And they're being genuine, they're being authentic, and people can connect with them. This generation is starving to make connections with people. Human beings were created for relationship. I mean, that's coming from an introvert, right? So we are created for a relationship. So people are looking for people they connect with, even if it's online. So I want you to have that in mind when you're posting. Am I connecting with my people? Share content that is shareable, okay? So when you add value to people in your niche, let's say your niche is fitness because you own a fitness studio. So you're sharing recipes on Facebook, you're sharing, amazing videos of some, a quick meal that you can do and you can put together. And you're adding value to people. Why? Because you're sharing with them how to create healthy meals, how to shorten the prep time. Whatever it is in your niche, you're creating value and you're adding value to people, okay? So content that is going to be shared is huge on Facebook. So Facebook is about adding value to others. People come to Facebook to be inspired, to be educated, and to be entertained, okay? So I know that the educated part is not the predominant part of why people come to Facebook, but they still do. People are still coming to Facebook, and they're very grateful when they can find, when you can educate them on whether it be health and wellness, whether it be beauty, beauty tips, whether it be your, hunting and you have, tips you can share with them to, kill deer easier. I don't know anything about hunting, as you can tell. I just eat the meat. So whatever you can share with people, in your niche and where you are, to help them, that is going to create value in your Facebook. Okay, so when you're educating people, think about what can you post that people will wake up and want to come to your wall to check out. Okay, are you the kind of person that has a Facebook profile that people are waking up and going, what is so-and-so posting today, right? So I am that kind of person, probably because I'm a bit controversial. So people are like, oh, what did she say today? Maybe just because you're nosy. But, have a profile that people are going to come to when they wake up in the morning because they connect with you. So they want to know what you have to say. What are you up to? What are you saying? What's going on in your life? What are you sharing? So when you have a Facebook profile that is going to draw people in because you do your niche and your brand so well, they're going to start sharing your content, and that's going to get you, a ton of followers from that. Think about when you post on Facebook. Are you inspiring? Are you educating? Are you entertaining? Or are you sharing you with the world? So think about that. Crystal said, I'm nosy. Well, I love honesty, so you go, girl. So are you inspiring, educating, entertaining, or are you sharing you with the world? Are you sharing more of you? You know, what you're doing throughout the day. What are you up to? You know, so maybe you have a thought that came and you want to, you know, inspire someone else or maybe help a parent out. Maybe there's a parenting tip that you want to share on Facebook. So think about that. So I want you to join as many interest groups as you can find on Facebook. Okay, so when you go on Facebook, there's a search bar on the top, and you can search for any kind of group. You can search for makeup groups, kayak groups, mom groups. You can look for local groups, hunting groups, biking groups. I mean, any kind of groups that anybody could ever come up with, Facebook has them. So look for groups and join them. Join your interest groups. Like, you're never going to find me in like spinning groups. Why? Because I don't spin. Like, you're never going to find me there, girlfriend. Okay? The only thing I spin is like shrimp on the scampi. But I ain't spinning. So don't go out there finding groups just so you can join and be like, oh, I'm going to go ahead and join as many groups as I can just to join, right? So make sure that you join groups that are your niche. Okay, don't be joining groups like knitting if you don't knit. Like, I would never join that group either. I don't knit. So connect with people in those groups. So when you join, yeah, like, what do? I don't knit. I don't spin. I don't like working out. I don't know. I like makeup. That's what I like. So connect with people in those groups. Comment on pictures. When you join a group, introduce yourself. Always make sure you introduce yourself, because people are going to start commenting on there. It's going to bring your post back up. Make sure. Yeah, the only time I'm running is if something's chasing me. Other than that, there is no running in my life. Make sure that you post a picture of yourself when you join those groups. So post a selfie and post kind of like a little bio when you join those groups, and be like, you know, I'm so excited to be here. Thank you for having me. And just a little bit about yourself, which is something that I see people don't do often enough. And that can get you so many followers and friend requests and all of that. Yeah. So make sure that you're doing that. Lives are huge on Facebook. So I was terrified of doing lives because my life is a little bit hilarious and my husband is too. So if you have not seen our makeup video on Facebook, you should check it out because it is to die for. And I was terrified that I was going to do lives, and like, you cannot undo that. Like, that was a little bit terrifying. But I started doing them and I absolutely love them because it's such a great way to connect with your followers, even if you have a crazy life. So make sure that you are doing lives and do lives in your niche. So whatever it is that you're doing a live about, is it, you know, let's say you're doing a parenting live, right? So you're doing tips for moms. You're going to go and share that live video on every single group you're a part of that has to do with parenting and motherhood. Why? Because that is where you're going to get the core of your followers from, sharing those videos in there, because you're adding value to a whole new set of people that you do not have on your wall. That's how I've had videos go viral. I've shared my videos on different pages that had to do with what the video was about. Okay, don't go sharing like a mom video on like a hiking group. Like, that doesn't make sense. Share videos of, you know, whatever your content is on content appropriate pages. So I've shared some of the videos on some of the groups, and not only do people comment and tag other people, but it gets shared a ton of times. So my biggest video on Facebook was almost 2 million views. So I have a lot of videos that have 100,000, 200, 300, 500,000 views, but my biggest one was almost 2 million views. So make sure that you are doing lives and that you share them in your groups, because you never know what video is going to go viral, right? So my biggest viral post I made had like 39,000 shares. So yeah, it was crazy. So do lives in your niche and share them in your groups. So when you talk about like how did I get the following that I have? That's how. There's posts and videos of mine that have gone viral. And I have a lot of those, and I have a lot of people that follow me. So when I post like on controversial issues like vaccines, and I post about politics, and I post about my faith, my followers are not freaked out. I'm not losing, 10,000 followers because of what I'm posting, because people know why they're following me to begin with. So does that make sense that you post according to your niche, right? That's why it's so important. I want your Facebook to be 90% you, 10% the business. So 90% you, 10% the business. So we're using the same principle as Instagram. You want to make sure that the bulk of your Facebook is you. When I am on like running mode, I'm doing a 90-day burst. Okay, what I'm doing is I'm posting an action call every single. That's right, when pigs fly. Pigs flew that day, let me tell you. I'm posting an action call every single night when I am on building mode, okay? Every single night when I'm on working mode, because it is prime time on Facebook, I am posting a post that has to do with my business, a power post, and I'm doing an action call every night. So action calls work on Facebook amazingly. So you want to use as much. Drop me an emoji, drop me a sticker, comment me below, comment opportunity below, comment like below, whatever it is, an action call that you come up with, and I change it up all the time. Make sure that you use those, because those are huge. It tells your audience, this is what I want you to do right now, and they're going to go ahead and do it most of the time. So when I am working the business aggressively, like come January, you're going to see a spike in my business posts and the before and afters, because I'm in crunch mode, right? That's what I call a burst. So I'm on a 30-day burst come January, and you're going to see a lot of business posts, a lot of, before and afters, but it's going to be one a day. Okay, so you're going to see one business post a day, maybe two, actually, if I'm feeling a little fancy, but you're only going to see one before and after every single day. I'm not going to span my feed with before and afters, even on crunch time, okay? So make sure you're posting those on your power hours when you know your Facebook is buzzing with people, which is usually nighttime, around 9:30, 10 o'clock at night. So know your seasons and post accordingly. Right now, you're not going to see crazy posting on my wall. You're not going to see a lot of action calls. Why? Because I know my seasons, and right now it's a season to not post as aggressively. Right now is a season to grow my following, to grow my likes, to grow the following that I already have, and share who I am with people to get to know me. So when January comes along and I start posting like crazy, that's harvest time. That is a time for the harvest, because you've been working all along, okay? It is easier to sustain momentum than to create momentum. So when you are in momentum, what happens with, a lot of people is they notice that they're in momentum on Facebook, and they're getting a lot of replies. Stuff is happening for them in the business. And then the following month, they take a seat like, oh, yay. Like, I already arrived. I am here. Hello. And then the next month, they're like, I don't know what happened, because they thought momentum is going to like keep going by itself. And you cannot expect that. Sorry, I enrolled an associate while I was on the live, apparently. So you have to keep momentum going when you have momentum. It's not going to take care of itself. So make sure that if you are in momentum, that it is not time to sit down, that you take it and you continue to write that on your social media account, because that's when you're going to get the best results. Do giveaways in groups, okay? I do giveaways all the time, especially because I'm in makeup groups. I love makeup, if y'all haven't noticed. I love makeup, so I do makeup giveaways in those groups. So when I do giveaways, and I've done them in my wall as well, I require two things. One of them, you have to follow me, right? You have to follow my profile. And second of all, you have to comment below my giveaway post, which is not only going to give you your prospects from that following, but it's also going to bring that post back up to the top of the feed. So when I post on Facebook, when I do a giveaway, I change it a little bit on Facebook because my wall is kind of public most of the time, unless crazy people come around and then I close it for a little bit. But most of the time it's public. So what I do when I do a giveaway is I always say tag 2 or more friends below. Why? Because that's going to put your profile in front of all those people's faces. So that is your potential prospects right then and there. So if you're going to do a giveaway on Facebook, make sure that you ask one of the requirements to be to tag 2 or more friends. I also recommend on Facebook that you do a monthly work from home event, which is, I call them a VIP event. So on that VIP event, I share the products, I share the business opportunity, I share my story, I share about the company, and I do a call to action. Okay, and a call to action, when I do them on the events, I send people back to their inviting associates. So I actually have a Facebook event coming up on the 8th, I think. Yes, January 8th. So if you want to come check that out and see how I do that, you can do that. I will post it in the comments when we're done. I'll post the link to it. And then you can check out kind of how I do the event, and you can tailor it to your company and your products. But I think that is so absolutely important because it gets my people's prospects in front of me every single month. So those people that just started and they have no idea how to share the business opportunity, they don't have the confidence to share the products yet, they're bringing their prospects in front of me every single month, and I'm doing the work for them. So as a leader, that's what I do to help them. So that is very, very, very important to do those events. I cannot tell you how important those events are and have been for my business. I don't think I would be where I am today, honestly, if it wasn't for those events. So if you're doing a post on Facebook about your products, okay, I would suggest a live unboxing of your products. I've done those before, and they're the videos that get the most likes, comments, all of that, because it's live. It's right then and there. People can interact. It's huge because people can talk to you about the products. You can answer questions. I think that is a very creative. Oh, that was a call. Okay, yay, we're back. If you're going to share the product, right, with people, I would absolutely do a live. Oh, I love it, Aaron. Okay, so network marketing on social media on Facebook is about this. Be interesting, be relevant, and be engaging. There are videos that I'm going to post that you're going to see the title to it, and you're going to be like, but you're going to watch it. You know why? Because the hook, that title caught you. So think about it when you're posting on Facebook all the time. Am I being relevant? Am I being engaging? And am I being interesting? So if it's none of those, you might want to rethink that, yeah? So get creative with your get to know me posts. I call a get to know me posts that I do about myself or what I'm doing, like lunch, with my husband at the mall, or shoes that I bought, or clothes, anything that has to do with me as a human being. Those are get to know me posts. So get creative with those posts. Don't post the same exact thing all the time. So how do you get creative with those posts? You get inspired, right? You look at other people's posts. How are they posting? Like I go to, famous photographers and their stuff on Instagram and Facebook, and I just look at the different things that they have going on. Look at other people in network marketing that have done amazing. What are they posting? Think about it. This isn't about copy and pasting thing. This is inspiration. And how can I take my profile to the next level of being relevant, engaging, and interesting? So if you're not those things, how do you think people that do not know you are going to want to work with you? So you got to think about that, because Facebook, when you start working and getting followers, Facebook is a cold market for me. So because I have 53,000 followers, most of those people I don't know. They don't know me. So it is a cold market. High resolution pics only, okay? That is huge because we are visual creatures. So we want to make sure that when we see something, it's appealing, the colors pop, it's amazing, it's what we want. to see it's inspiring, it's relevant. So you want to make sure that you have crisp graphics. That's why it's so important for you to learn how to make those so you can make them quickly and you can set yourself apart from everyone else that is doing exactly the same thing you're doing in whatever company you are in. That is the name of the game. You want to set yourself apart. How do you do that? Be relevant, be interesting, and be engaging.